What's up guys, I'm Visser. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you join me now on the K-Swap series, episode 3, where I'm going to take that engine, get it ready for the race car. Well, hi there folks. This year engine is a K24A3. It is also referred to as the TSX engine, and this is a 2.4 liter of Honda VTEC goodness, and it's the engine of choice that's going into the race car. So on the agenda today, let me quickly run you through of everything that I plan to do to this engine, because the idea is not to keep it stock. We want to make a few changes, make it a bit more robust for racing environment, and also give some extra parts that just adds a little bit of peri-peri to it. So before I show you everything that's going into K24, just quickly want to show the axles I got back from Rodney at Real Pro Auto. Very nice job that they did. So the inner CV still stays the same. They will go into the K20 gearbox, no problem. Well, as normal. But on the outside, we had fitted the B series outer CVs, and that will adapt to the existing uprights or knuckles that's in the car. Sort of adapter shafts, if you will. So, lekker. Right, for the K24, this is what I have planned or lined up, which needs to go into the engine or onto the engine. So on this side, real simple gasket kit. Then we have an engine mount bracket. Let me show you the one that's on the engine at the moment. So this one will not work for the Hasport engine mounts that I have. And so this bracket is basically a requirement to fit on one side onto the engine, the other side to the Hasport mounts. Then I have a brand new timing chain and a timing chain tensioner, all OEM, to go on. Make sure that's all good. RTV of choice. I did go to Honda and ask them about Honda Bond, and when they said it's almost $800 for the same size, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. So Loctite, going with a friend's recommendation. That's my silicone of choice. Now on this box, this is parts that I got back from the K20 Z3 motor. There were upgrades on that motor that I didn't sell with it, because I have good plans for it and I do need it. So well sump with its baffle, and then I have the RRC oil pump, which is a nice upgrade. Oh, and it's windage tray, but it's a proper upgrade over the stock oil pump that's there at the moment. It's the balance shaft variant of it. They add a lot of weight. Well, not a lot, but they add weight. They add resistance to the engine, as well as they start dropping oil pressure to high RPMs. So that's not going to work for what I want out of this engine. So hence that upgrade. Then we have the 45-degree VTC gear that I got from Jake's at JDM Tuning. The K20 crank pulley, because the K24 one is a bit larger diameter. And as I'm fitting the K20 accessories alternator, and that I don't want to change the serpentine belt at this point in time, so I'm just trying to keep everything as it's meant to be. Then I have some K20 sensors that is different to the K24, but as I'm using the K20 wiring harness, I need these sensors. The crank speed sensor, the knock sensor, and already fitted to the engine is the oil pressure sensor. Then we have, for the intake, I have the RSP intake manifold, which is the stock manifold that comes on the K20 Z3. Then for the fuel rail, the stock fuel rail is meant for a returnless fuel system, which the Honda EK does not have. It has a return style system. So to adapt that to the EK fuel system, I have a return style fuel rail, a works fuel rail that I got from a local company, and I'll put all the details in the description below. They were actually, the price was actually very reasonable, and I was quite surprised. So that was a good find. And then I go along with it. It's not fitting on. We won't be fitted on the engine, but just for interest sake, while we're sharing a DishWorks fuel pressure regulator. So yeah, so that's what plan. Quite a few things, and let me put down the camera for a time lapse and then start stripping everything that I don't need.
Suck me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with a nasty bite. I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take.
Okay, I had some success by using that paper. Yes, but it allowed me to put in enough leverage to get that bolt loose. So now we can continue again. So let me put the camera back on one side and reinitiate the time lapse.
Take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control.
So busy removing the side bracket. The top two bolts came out easy, but this one doesn't want to. There's a lot of resistance, and so I'm just going to leave it in fear of breaking it off. And I have to remove the cover in any case. So when I remove the cover and it's loose and can maybe move a little bit left to right, this bolt should free up.
Restless every time we start locking eyes.
Alright, so the cover is off. So I'm just doing quick inspection just to see how the inside of the engine looks, and by the look of it, it looks actually quite clean. Sometimes you get this carbon build-up, so it gives it a very dark brownish color, but in this case I don't see it, so that's an indication that the engine has received all these services, oil services, as it should have. So that's good news. It means the assumption is the engine is actually in a very good condition in the inside. I'll quickly put the engine on top dead center, and then I can take it cover off. Alright, so I have these two marks horizontally opposed to the inside. Mark at the top, arrow to the arrow. So that's a top dead center. And I also know this because I've put in two 5mm drill bits. There's a small hole and the side of the camshaft that goes into this cap, and if it goes through the two holes lines up, it will, one, hold the camshaft in place, and two, it's at top dead center. Okay, so now the cover is completely loose. Now I have to see if I can remove this bolt. Hopefully it's not as tight as it was previously. And the answer is no. Still tight. So I'm not exactly sure why this bolt is so tight. So hopefully it doesn't break off, because that would suck. Okay, so it seems to have really done some damage in the inside. That's not good. Broken that part off. I guess let's move on for now. Alright, so quick update. Now I've removed the timing chain and started cleaning the silicone surfaces. So for now the surfaces are decent, so I'll leave it here before I do final prep, and just for now I'm going to swap the engine and start working on the oil pump. Okay, so before I flip it over, I figured I'll give it a try and remove the VTC gear. So the camshaft still has the drill bit pin on the one side, and I'm going to use the 24mm wrench to support the camshaft further, and see if I can't remove that bolt. So let's see. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Okay, so VTC gear is back on, hasn't tightened down. I had some trouble getting it to fit onto the shaft. I could feel there was a reach inside, so I loosened these 4 small bolts, and the assembly could then move a little bit to a line, and that got me to slide it over the point of the camshaft. Right, for these 4 bolts, I couldn't find anything in the workshop manual to suggest a torque rating for these 4. So just looking at the size of them, I'm going to torque them down to 12 Newton meters. Newton meters. 4 down, 1 to go. Okay, so looking at the workshop manual, this bolt needs to be 112 Newton meters. So gonna put it on 113 for good measure. Sweet. So 113. What's up guys, you joined me for a second day of engine building. Yesterday I didn't quite finish, I stopped just before the oil pump removal, and I'll continue with that today. Today I did collect the EG lower control arms from Real Pro Auto. Rodney sent them in for me so they can fit new bushings, and they are nice and red looking, color of the car, so that's lekker. And then I also started looking at this broken hole. So I got a tap as a M10 by 1.25. So I thought I'll do the tapping off camera, not to bore you guys, but so I already sort of tapped the hole so that it should accept a new bolt. So even though I might not torque it as much as the 2 upper bolts, but I'll give it maybe half the torque with a dab of Loctite just to keep the bracket, the bottom of the bracket, flat. So and then I think I'll make it work like that for now. There's nothing else I can think of now as a quick, easy fix for this. So I think this will work fine. And since the outside wall is not affected, silicone will still seal it nicely, and I don't think we'll have a problem. So I'm just gonna send it. Alright, so welcome to the high vantage point. I reviewed some of the previous footage of yesterday's footage that I did of the GoPro on my head, and I think the angles were not quite optimal, so the camera sort of looked over my hands. So hopefully this is a bit better. So let's get started. So 4 bolts, and then we can remove the oil pump. Sweet. Let me just put this down. Oh, that's not nice. Lol. Luckily it didn't go into my socks. But still. That's an amateur move. Right. Okay, so before I start cleaning, that bugger should also come out. I must just close it up with a other bolt. So let me get something to pull that out with. There we go. Out she comes. Not gonna need that. Yep. That is tapped. So obviously I need a bolt for that. That will work. Cool. So now I just have to clean it. Put some RTV behind it. Torque it down. Right, so that's done. Before I fit the new oil pump, I'll use the extra space and just clean silicone off for now. Alright, welcome back. As you can see, I've cleaned the surface, so now when I install the windage tray and the oil pump, and I get ready to put on the sump, I can just clean the edges with acetone and not try and get into the weird places because of everything that's in the way. So that will save me some headache later. I'm just hand tightening it. I'll proceed to torquing them down just now. Go 12. That's 11. 12. They're all torqued down to 12 Newton meters. This is a chain specific to this oil pump. Okay, so that's in place, chain is on. So now I can bolt it down. A long bolt, a medium bolt, and a short bolt. Cool, so we'll torque that one 12 and these two 22 newtons. This one. There we go. And for those ones, size 12, we have to step it up to 22. Now we can proceed to fitting the guide and the tensioner. So these three 12 Newton meters. I'm going to assume these ones are the same. There we go. Oil pump installed.